Good morning, friends, followers, my subscribers, fellow YouTube creators, my army of Trevites and cultists, and everyone who's came across the Instagram and who are following me on Instagram. And for that, I thank you very much. But it is Sunday morning, the day of rest, the Lord's Day, as it's known. As you can see behind me, this is my father's little study. All his memorabilia on the walls. As you can see, he was a real soldier, like myself. There we go. Anyway, it is Sunday. Thank you all very much for the messages. For those coming across to Instagram, I appreciate it. For those that are buying the books, I appreciate it. Listen, guys and girls, you can achieve nothing by yourself. You need a team around you. You need a team, good people in your circle that lift you up. If people aren't lifting you up, then don't engage. That's the only way to get through life. Don't engage with scumbags. You don't need to. Yes, I was sent clips last night of someone, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, the writing's on the wall. There are many people out there that served in the armed forces who are proud of their career. There are many people out there that served in the armed forces that are fantasists and known as bloaters. They're not Walter Mitty's because they served, but they're known as bloaters. They're ashamed of what they did in the army. They're ashamed of their service, so they make up this alternative career where they served in several different units. But then they say they trip themselves up by saying, well, I only did a couple of years and then I left. And then they say things like, well, I went to the unit just after the Second Gulf War, which is 2003, which I was a commander in. And then they say they had commission. I mean, the fact that people listen to fantasists shows you that the people that listen to fantasists are clearly retarded. Anyway, so what's happening today? Well, I've said over the last couple of weeks, and I will stand by it, the UK Ministry of Defence does not deserve a single penny increase on their defence budget because they employ 62,000 civilians, civil servants, which control the army. They need to get rid of most of them. The other day I heard that civil servants were going to protest and walk out. That made no sense. That meant that they're working from home. They were going to go to the shops, doesn't it? How can you walk out if you're working from home? Shouldn't be allowed to work from home because a lot of the material, a lot of the information that they work with is classified. It should not be able to be accessed from your own home. That's the reason why they should be working in London, in the big offices and things. And that's why they're secure. When you walk into the civil service building in London, there's security. You've got to go through security. But they're letting you work from home where there's no security. Your friends and your friends and family are having access to all the stuff that you're having at home. It should be illegal. Get rid of them. Bring back the War Office. Now, at this time, I am seeing all these defence editors, all these idiots, and I will point them out, that are trying to get everyone to sort of, yeah, can you speak out and say we need more money? You don't need more money. Stop wasting millions. This is a Ministry of Defence which wants more increase in their defence budget. But at the same time, they've just sent a warship to the Gaza Strip to give £9.7 million of aid. The Royal Navy have just announced, ready, that they have spent £2.4 million on a diversity team. Now, does that sound like a Navy that's skint if they're able to waste money on shite projects like that? Exactly. You'd be surprised how much money the British Army has spent on diversity teams. Millions and millions of pounds, and yet they say we need more money. No, you don't. You need someone with a brain at the top that doesn't spend money on shite. That's exactly what you need. It's crazy, isn't it? What else is happening? What have I written here? Yes, they say crime doesn't pay, but I'm convinced now it does. Listen to this. 7 British terrorists, seven, you can decide what nationality, they're now British, but they weren't British originally. You can decide where they're from. 7 British terrorists who had planned and plotted to produce a dirty bomb to explode in the heart of London have been released from jail having served half their sentence. They've probably seen God. Yeah, that's all you have to do these days. In fact, I just drove past, no, that's a lie. My dad just drove past a church on the Hollywood Road, which outside of it is filled with foreigners who are transitioning from where they are to the They want to be Christians in order to gain asylum here, so they're all outside the church. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I don't understand it. I will leave links to descriptions of these stories, so you can see that I don't make these stories up. And there's also anger at, and I have to say this, it may get a thing, a child rapist, grape, let's say grape, a child rapist has just not only been released from prison, but he's fought and won. He's been granted asylum in the UK. A convicted child rapist has just been granted asylum in the UK. Tell me if it's just shocking. And to top it all off, George Galloway has just interviewed an extremist on an Iranian TV channel who is calling for people to rise up and join Hamas. Wow. Is there any good news? Is there any good news? Is there? Crazy, isn't it? Sunday, day of rest, the Lord's Day, and all we're getting to hear is shite all over the media. Adam Petty, the Olympic world record holder swimmer, has said that he has to thank Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay saved him from himself. He had reached a level of competitiveness where he didn't want to lose at anything, that it was eating away at him and it was taking over his health conditions, and Gordon Ramsay helped him overcome that. So there you go. That's not a bad story, is it, Adam? I'm wearing my Soldier On Coffee t-shirt today. See? Can't beat that. Can't beat that with a big stick. Yeah. So what am I doing today? Well, later on I'm going to visit my cousin. My cousin. Taking the family, have a chilled out day, bite to eat. Why not, people? Why not? Now I've got this here, which is stunning. For those of you that don't realise, not only was Luba's granddad a colonel in the Russian army, a Russian tank regiment, whose unit sieged Berlin. They sieged Berlin, and they got there before the Americans and the British. But as well as that, my dad's dad, my granddad, look at this. In the Merchant Navy. You probably can't see all that stuff about him. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. An army, should I say a family steeped in military history. Military history and military campaigns. We don't have to, none of us drove padres around the battlefield or to the shops. And we all did, we enjoyed it. What can I say? Well, listen, people, thanks for all of you who support me on this channel. For those of you that support me on the PayPal. For those leaving reviews on Amazon, I do appreciate it. But I'm going to say, most of all, for those of you that have taken the opportunity and the time to come across to Instagram, where my channel is growing, I'm putting up videos. And I'm going to be honest with you, this morning when I upload this video on YouTube, it may take a couple of hours. But when I upload it on Instagram, it's there in seconds, 1 or 2 minutes. It's actually there, and you can watch it firsthand. So thanks for all your help. Thanks for all your transitioning. I did put a picture of Harland and Wolff, the Koreans in Belfast, on the thumbnail. That's David and Goliath. Those are the Koreans that helped build the Titanic. They built loads of ships there. Yeah. And when I was on a coach yesterday, not early hours, you know what I mean, in the morning, heading out, the guy on Alan's tours, which I thought was fantastic, said, and if you look out to your right, you will see Belfast Lock. That's where the Titanic set sail from. It took 3 years to build, and it took 3 hours to sink. Yeah. And what you'll find from the people in Northern Ireland is this. We built the greatest ship ever built. The greatest liner ever built. It was in perfect working order when it left here. But we gave it to an English captain who sunk it in 3 hours. So we will build great stuff in Northern Ireland, and other people will just ruin it. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for supporting me. Have a wonderful day, people, and stay safe.